What is going on, you savages? Welcome to the show. So oftentimes I will get messages from people who listen to the show and they go, hey man, were you talking about me? And I'm always like, no. And most of the time I wasn't. Most of the time I was not. Today I am. Today I'm talking about you. If you hear this and you're talking about me, yeah, I am. Just own it, okay? Just get that out of the way immediately. Now you know. Yep, it's about you. Internalize it. Also head to traviscrutcher.com. When I'm done talking, while I'm talking, however you can do it safely. If you're driving, just put your fucking phone down. Just listen. Yeah, do that. If you want me to come speak, that's a good thing to check out. Spots are limited, but we can definitely get you in 2025 if that is something you're interested in for your team or for your organization, however you want to make that happen. We can do keynotes, we can do workshops, et cetera, et cetera. Or if you were interested in individual one-on-one coaching, that is also my jam. So head to the website, check that out. Limited space on the one-on-one side. Believe me when I tell you, very limited. But I do have some spaces available for 2025 still. So if you're interested to get started, hit me up and we can make it happen, Captain. Anyway, I'm going to now shut up so I can thereby talk some more.
Welcome to Not Sorry with Travis Crutcher, the show where Travis will say some things that might trigger you, offend you, make you laugh, or even motivate you. So, if you're not easily offended, stick around and enjoy. On the other hand, if you are easily offended, listen anyway. Then go tell everyone how triggered you were. Either way, you can be certain of one thing. Travis is not sorry.
All right, here we go. So if you may have gleaned this from the title, but today we're going to talk about self-limiting beliefs. Here's what's crazy. In my business, this is a constant conversation, okay? And what's wild is it's always kind of the start point for a new client, right? Because there's always some self-limiting beliefs. But what's crazy to me is when these persist, right? When I, people who know the game, they understand that these things exist and it's still whipping their ass. And so today we're going to talk about it. And we're really going to try and shut this shit down, okay? And so we just need to be real about it. So let's get something straight right off the bat. These limitations you're living with, they're not fucking real, dude. They're not real. They're just stories you've been telling yourself for so long, they feel like facts. Like, think about it. Every single thing you, quote, can't do is just something you convinced yourself that's impossible. I mean, think back to all the can'ts in your life. When you were a tiny tot, you can't tie your shoes. I'm hoping by now you can. If you're still rocking those Velcro roos, man, it's time to level up. But all these can'ts are things that you can do now. And now you've just convinced yourself that these bigger ones, these scary ones, that they're impossible. And you're literally living in a prison that you've created, and what's most fucked up is you're the prison guard, right? You're the one patrolling the hallways to make sure you don't get out of your self-limiting cell. And you want to know what these beliefs really are? They're just your past failures, right? Your fuck-ups, pretending to predict your future. I mean, look, like, I've been there, man. There's been stuff that I fucked up before. I'm like, I'm never gonna. This is impossible. No, it wasn't. I fucking did it. I got it done, right? Like, I'll tell you, like, there was a course called Pathfinder in the fucking Army. Jesus. It was the worst 3 weeks of my existence. I'm not joking. It is test after test after test. And there was a point during that course, I'm like, there's no fucking way I'm going to pass this thing. There's no way I'm ever going to get my Pathfinder badge. But do you know what? I did. I fucking had to do some retests along the way, like every one of them, but I made it, right? I passed. And so that was a can't for me that actually came to fruition because I didn't fucking give up. And what's crazy is, like, these past failures that you're using to predict your future, that's just what they are. They're past failures, man. Let that shit go. Or, there are other people's limitations that you've picked up along the way. How many times have you seen someone, like, emulating the fuckery that they got from their family or from their parents' failures or whatever, like, generational curse bullshit, right? This is stuff that you pick up along the way, and it's not yours, but you're carrying it around like it's your own. And here's the most fucked up part. You're probably wearing these limitations like armor, man, calling it shit like being realistic, when really it's just being afraid. And that's the facts, Jack. Like, it's not a badge of honor to walk around. Oh, when someone's like, well, why aren't you going after that? Oh, I'm just trying to be realistic. Fuck realistic, man. Like, what is realistic? Be honest about that. What is realistic? Do you think Elon Musk, when he was a tiny tot, thought his life was realistic? Probably fucking not. Did it stop him from going after it? Hell no. And so here's what we're going to destroy these beliefs, okay? I call it the mental warfare method because that's exactly what this shit is. You're going to go to war with every self-limiting belief you've got. And the first thing you got to do is drag every single one of these beliefs into the light. It's just like when you were a kid, right? And there's a monster under your bed and you look at it with a flashlight, you're like, oh no, that's like fucking dirty socks or my skateboard or whatever, right? There's no monsters. They're a lot less scary when you put them in the light. So what I'm saying is write down every time you tell yourself you can't do something. Every time you think you're not good enough, get it all out where you can see it. And the next thing you're going to do is systematically destroy each one of these beliefs. For every I can't, I want you to find someone who already did, okay? For every impossible, and the reason we're doing that is because it's going to show us that, no, people can do this. It is achievable. For every impossible, quote, impossible, I want you to find evidence that proves it's not impossible. Because what we're doing is we're building a case against our own bullshit. And then finally, you're going to replace every limiting belief with a challenge. Okay, I can't becomes I'm figuring out how. Or not possible comes not possible yet. We're not just destroying these limitations, we're building new possibilities, you understand? And then we need to do this whole identity shift needs to happen. So here's what's going to happen when you start this war with your old identity, okay? It's going to fight back like hell. Your comfort zone is going to start to scream at you. Your excuses are going to get louder than ever. And this means it's working, okay? This means the process is working. If it feels comfortable, you're doing it wrong. Think about it. If you've ever seen the movie The Exorcist, right? Any exorcism, as soon as they start poking at that fucking demon, right? What does it do? It gets pissed, man. It starts screaming. It starts showing its ass like it is going full tilt. That means it's working, right? Then they go harder. And so that's what I'm telling you. As soon as you start this process, as soon as you start trying to tear down these limiting beliefs, they're going to get louder and louder and louder. It's going to try and stifle your progress. So every single morning, I want you to wake up ready for war. Pick one limiting belief and make it your mission to prove it wrong that day. Just one, because here's the thing about your mind. It's either going to be your greatest weapon or your biggest weakness. There is no middle ground here. Here's the truth. All these limiting beliefs, they're just outdated software that you're running on, man. Like that's all it is. They're yesterday's ceiling trying to be tomorrow's floor. And the most fucked up part, most of them aren't even yours. They're other people's fears and limitations that you've downloaded and started running as your own program, but it's not yours. You know, I tell clients all the time, fear is not an innate nature for people. It's just not, we're not born with a fear nature. If you've ever watched a toddler cruise across the room, man, they're going literally head first because that's what carries their momentum. Their little feet are barely keeping up and they don't give a fuck how many sharp corners, how you could put pits of alligators between them and a cookie. They don't give a shit. They're going for it because we're not born with a fear nature. It's something that we develop, right? It's something that keeps us safe. It's a survival tool, but it's everyone has told us the things we should be afraid of. You're not born being afraid of success. You're not born being afraid of speaking in front of people. You're not born with any of these fears, they're limiting beliefs. You glom onto them, right? They're things that get stuck to you, and you got to shake this shit off, T Swift. So it's time to uninstall this bullshit. Upgrade your mental software, man. It's time to write new stories about what's possible for you because your potential isn't the problem. It never was. Your beliefs are. So that's it. That is it for today. Start doing this every day. Wake up, go to war with one of these beliefs. Prove that motherfucker wrong. Show evidence that it is not true and start building new patterns for yourself and start knocking those things off the to-do list, man. You get one crack at this motherfucker, one shot. Don't let fear be the thing that stops you from going after something based off some bullshit self-limiting beliefs that aren't even true and they're not yours in the first place. Cool? Thank you. Please, will you please fucking do it if I say please? Anyway, hope you guys dug it. Hope you took something away from it, and I will talk to you next time. Later.